Wild Love is many things. It's the first single from my new record. It's a great example of where my writing has gone to. It's the same writing process as before, but I think it shows that my confidence has grown in many ways, in the sounds on that record and also in the kind of subject matter. Like my songs were filled with angst and uncertainty. My lyrics on my first record, you know, they were based on personal experiences, like most of my music. They were a little more kind of careful, I think. I just wasn't the type of artist back then that would feel something like the emotions in Wild Love and just say them. The chorus in Wild Love, I want to give you wild love, the kind that never slows down. Those are the opening lines. And I know that I wasn't an artist with the kind of confidence to say that sort of thing on my first record. And the second record is all about evolution for me as an artist. So to go to those places and those lengths as a writer has been the point. And it's essentially about kind of falling for someone and that explosive, like euphoric feeling.
But I wanna give you wild love, the kind of national.
Wild Love is a song where influences like that I've talked about, like Drake and Frank Ocean, Prince, definitely applied, absolutely. But you know, artists like David Bowie, LCD Sound System, Lord, Blondie, have been huge influences on this whole record as well, and individually a song like Wild Love as well. Whilst there's a sort of slickness to Frank Ocean's music and Drake's music, it's by no means perfect, and that's the thing that makes it so incredible. And that can definitely be said or noticed more so in something like LCD Sound System's music or the production of a Blondie record, which I know is a much older record, but still. And then, you know, it was juggling those two things, like going to a slightly slicker place, for want of a better word, but making sure it felt earnest, because that's kind of who I am, and making sure it felt real, because that's the kind of artist I want to be. And that's why an influence like Lord's music applies, or like Prince's music applies as well. One of the early inspirations for me for this video was the famous D'Angelo video that I cannot replicate. I just can't. I've stood in front of a mirror and I've tried, and I'm just not him. So that being the case, that's a very striking image in itself, because he's an incredible looking man. So I suppose there was a thought process that sort of went with the nervousness that comes from this song. In the verses, you know, a lot of the storyline of Wild Love is about how do I approach the subject of I want to absolutely be with this person and I want this person to feel incredible. The thought process was, well, you feel like you've got butterflies. Hang on. Butterflies is potentially great imagery. So they kind of follow us around in this video, and they're a visual representation of what these two characters are feeling. And then I just took it a little further, I guess, and it's, you know, the song is from the sort of personal perspective, and so my character in the video always feels like she's just out of reach. I didn't want anything to be too perfect, so as you'll see in the video, it turns out she is always just out of reach. And suddenly she disappears and explodes into a cloud of butterflies, and that's a little bit of artistic license there, I guess. You know, visually it was really cool to do that, and it felt better to do that than to like seal the deal sort of thing. You know, that felt too easy. And as far as like thinking of or asking someone like Natalia, I didn't know her before. You just have to ask. You have to see what the possibility is of someone like her wanting to do that. So we sent her the song, and she was awesome. She came back. She heard that. She listened to the song. I was in LA to shoot that video, and she was actually in Europe at the time. She came back. She said, "I really love this song. I'd love to do it." It was really wonderful and simple, and to hang with her that whole day and work with her making that video was awesome, because she's as lovely and kind of simple in her approach to chatting with you as she is in her acting. It doesn't ever feel overthought, which mine absolutely does. But she was really great, and yeah, I'm a fan of what she's done so far. But you know, what a great person, what a great talent, and I'll definitely be a fan of the things she goes on to do.